Hello, hello. Fee Jamieson-Folland beaming in from one of my favourite places on earth, God's own as we call it, here in New Zealand, and down here in the South Island, and the Southerners tend to call it the mainland. Very tongue-in-cheek. And in fact, the mainland out of we could say 3 islands, if you include Stewart Island, the teeny little island down at the bottom. So if you're sounding intrigued, it's I do recommend, if you've never been to New Zealand, that you definitely do. You can see a little bit of the native bush right in the background there. It's definitely worth a look. And we're just at the foothills of the Abel Tasman National Park, where in terms of the time I'm tuning in now, I will be in a different posse by the time I connect with you for this week's Alive with Fee. That in the meantime, I get to share these golden moments from this very beautiful place in the world. So this week's topic is, do we have to or do we get to? And this is where we're talking about conscious living and learning for life. And some of my most challenging lessons in my life have come at a time when I was really in full bore resistance, and certainly not feeling like I was getting to a benefit from experiencing a lesson in life. It was more that I was feeling very hard done by, and that life was just really tough, and that things were being done to me. And it's been a really powerful shift in perspective for me, to shift from I have to is being done to me, in terms of stuff happens in my life type thing, to actually I choose to, I get to. And with one of the big whoppers actually that happened in our lives for Chris and I, we were actually knocked over on a pedestrian crossing by a car, and it really did wipe us out. We had multiple injuries. Chris smashed the windscreen of the car with his head, he fractured his skull, he bruised his brain, still picking out pieces of glass about 5 years later from his head. It was pretty full on. And for me, I had a complex fracture of my left shoulder and a separation of the clavicle in one place, and then I had fractures, a couple of fractures in my knee, needed to have it reconstructed, and I needed to learn to walk again. So it was a game changer. And one of the biggest shifts that happened for me was from shifting from, well, this terrible thing happened to us, to actually it was a choice. You say, well, goodness me, how could it have been a choice for you to have been hit at 11 p.m. by that car, that crazy driver? But I actually believe that I had not been listening to important signs in my life, that the path I was following at that time was really not ideal. And it actually wasn't taking me in the direction of where I thought it was going to. And so it took something like that to literally stop me and Chris in our tracks and really evaluate. And I'm so pleased that we did, because that's what's allowed us to create a very different lifestyle, a travel lifestyle, freedom, to be able to contribute, to be able to make a difference in a way that allows that sense, of expansiveness is probably the best way to describe it. And so, and help others do the same who are keen to do it. And so it really, to me, one of the biggest differences has been about realizing that it's my choice, that I get to rather than I have to. So if this strikes any kind of chord for you, please do share, because that's, again, it's how I learn. It's the insights that you share that inspire me and delight me and also educate me. So I love it when you share. Please do. And for those of you, you know who you are, when we get to connect and you're sharing your experiences too. And for me, I feel privileged to get to work with many of you as clients on your journeys. And like I say, it's a learning experience for me, as I'm privileged to do what I do. So, always good to hear from you. In the meantime, please do keep sharing your sunshine, and I'll see you on this week's Alive with Fee. Ciao for now.